At the inquiry, a government apology.
However you try, sometimes your best is not good enough. I deeply regret that is the case, and I wish to apologise to the victims, bereaved survivors, in relation to that.
Today's witness, Bob Ledsome, a former senior director of building regulations at the Ministry of Housing. He was in charge in the years before the Grenfell fire, and in his own words, he failed.
It was my job, part of my role, to ensure that the building regulations were not always at the back of the queue for resources, for priorities, etc. And that's part of what a deputy director's role is. But it would be forever on my conscience that I failed on that, because we were at the back of the queue and we didn't get up the front of we didn't get building regs up the queue. And that was my role, and I can't say that I discharged that to the best as I would have wanted to.
But Mr. Ledsome got warnings. He was sent this email by a colleague, hauntingly, the day before the Grenfell fire, the 13th of June 2017. It contained this headline from the Fire Sector Campaign Group, warning that the government safety rulebook, approved document B, was out of date and now potentially fatal.
Did you agree in June 2017 that the guidance in approved document B was out of date, potentially fatally so?
It was out of date and needed review, yes, of course.
And indeed, it was to prove exactly so 9 hours later?
Well, indeed.
72 people would go on to die in the fire. The flammable building products used on the tower helping to spread the flames.
But looking back on it now, is there anything now, looking back, that you would have done differently?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to run away from the fact that Grenfell happened on my watch. I was the head of the Building Regulations Division. There are responsibilities that go with that role. I've explained and accepted as we've gone along where there were misjudgments and errors. I feel that we tried our best, that I tried my best, but I have to ask myself the question, and I have asked myself the question very, very deeply, was my best good enough? And it will be forever on my conscience that perhaps my best was not good enough, and I regret that.
More government witnesses will appear tomorrow. Rags Martel, ITV News, at the Grenfell inquiry.